3 losses, then a positive pregnancy test. But instead of joy, I felt panic. This time, I was being monitored by a high risk doctor who specialized in genetic conditions. And during one of our early appointments, he said something that shocked me. Why hasn't your husband been looked into more thoroughly? I froze. After all, I was the one with a history of suspected causes. Everything from endocrine issues to active toxoplasmosis. The care has always been centered on me, but that question planted a seed in my mind. Could we have been missing something all along?
Welcome to Fertility and Wholeness Podcast. Are you tired of seeing that test be negative month after month? Will you ever stop having to take test after test? Are you scared of all the medical terminology, office visits, and misinformation you see at every turn on your infertility journey? If you answer yes to any of those, you're not alone. You are at the right place. I'm so happy you're here with us. My name is Ariana. I'm a fertility care practitioner and a wholeness coach with over a decade of experience on the field. I created this podcast because I know what it is to feel alone and lost while navigating fertility problems. And after helping hundreds of women, teaching them how to not protract their cycles, boost their fertility, and navigate their monthly emotional roller coaster and get pregnant naturally, I am on a mission to empower women to take charge of their fertility journey. In this podcast, you will find heartfelt conversations, education, tips on how to take care of and understand your fertility, emotional support, simple lifestyle changes to boost your fertility, nutrition, self-care routines, tips for handling stress and anxiety with ease. We have amazing, exciting expert interviews and guests, inspirational stories, and practical advice on preparing for pregnancy and joyful delivery. Are you ready to reclaim your health, your life, and become pregnant naturally? If so, grab your green juice and prenatal vitamins. This episode is just what the doctor ordered.
Hello and welcome to Fertility and Wholeness with Ariana. I'm Ariana, your host. Today's episode is about a question that many couples struggling with recurrent pregnancy loss or infertility may not even think to ask. Why role might male factors play in pregnancy outcomes, even when conception isn't an issue? We are diving into this because, like many couples, my husband and I assume that if we can get pregnant, his fertility wasn't part of the problem. But that assumption turned out to be wrong. And as we explore today, male factors like sperm DNA damage or genetic abnormalities can influence not just whether you can conceive, but whether a pregnancy progresses successfully. This episode isn't about blame. It's about uncovering hidden factors and empowering couples with knowledge that can make all the difference. Traditionally, when couples face recurrent miscarriages or infertility, the focus is almost entirely on the woman. Testing always begins and ends with her. Doctors look for uterine abnormalities, hormone imbalances, autoimmune issues, or infections like toxoplasmosis. And while these are valid concerns, they're only half of the story. Here's what most people don't realize. Male factors contribute to up to 50% of infertility cases, yet they're rarely investigated thoroughly, especially in cases where conception occurs but pregnancy don't progress. Why is this? Partly because the standard sperm analysis measuring count, motility, and morphology is limited. A normal result doesn't rule out deeper issues like chromosomal abnormalities or DNA damage in sperm. So what deeper testing can reveal? Number 1, when my husband underwent genetic testing, it was an eye-opening. One of the first things they looked at was his karyotype, a test that examines chromosomes for abnormalities like translocation. This can lead to recurrent pregnancy loss because it disrupts embryo development. Another key test is a sperm DNA fragmentation analysis. Unlike the standard sperm test, this measures the integrity of the sperm DNA, a critical factor for embryo quality and miscarriage risk. Research shows that men with partners who experience recurrent miscarriages often have high levels of DNA damage in their sperm. Number 2, hormonal and structural issues. Male fertility isn't just about a sperm. It's about hormones and physical health. Low testosterone or imbalances in FSH and LH can affect both the sperm production and libido. Physical conditions like varicocele, which is enlarged veins in the scrotum, can also impair sperm quality, but are treatable if diagnosed. Number 3, environmental and lifestyle factors. This is where environmental exposures come into play. As highlighted in Dr. Shanna Swan's book, Countdown, chemicals like phthalates or BPAs are contributing to declining sperm quality worldwide. Lifestyle factors like smoking, alcohol use, or poor diet, and you have a recipe for hidden fertility challenges. Let me add, our baby was full term, a moment of joy amidst our journey. But the genetic testing we underwent revealed unexpected insights. We uncovered my husband's predisposition to develop Wilson disease and issues with methylation. This information proved invaluable for my husband's health, something we might never have discovered otherwise. This experience taught us that male genetic testing isn't just about fertility or pregnancy outcomes. It can uncover crucial health information that impacts the whole family. And that's why I'm sharing our story with you today. Number 3, the emotional impact. I want to pass here to acknowledge something important. For many men and couples, this can be an emotional journey. There is often an unspoken assumption that fertility struggles are a woman's issue. So when male factors come into focus, it can feel isolating and even shameful. But here's what I have learned through our experience. Investigating my fertility isn't about blame. It's about partnership. It's about working together to uncover answers that could lead to healing and hope. So what can you do if this resonates with your story? Here are some steps to consider. Advocate for advanced testing. If you have faced recurrent losses or unexplained infertility, ask your doctor about tests like karyotyping or DNA fermentation analysis. Number 2, seek specialized care. Work with reproductive endocrinologists or urologists who understand male fertility beyond just the sperm counts. Number 3, address lifestyle factors. Small changes like improving diet, reducing stress, or minimizing exposure can have a big impact. Number 4, communicate openly. This journey is hard enough without shame or blame. Approach it as a team. Our journey wasn't easy, but I thought as the answers are out there if you keep asking questions and advocating for yourself. To wrap up today's episode, male factors matter, not just for conception, but for pregnancy outcomes too. Genetic testing, in particular, can reveal crucial information about potential disorders in offspring. It can detect chromosomal abnormalities, identify specific gene mutations, and even guide your decisions. But remember, this isn't about science. It's about empowering you with knowledge to make informed decisions about your family's future. So what can you do right now? Here's one simple step. Start a conversation with your partner about your family health history. Are there any genetic conditions that run in either of your families? This information can be invaluable when discussing genetic options with a healthcare provider. If this episode raised questions for you or gave you hope, I'd love to hear from you. Share your story or send me your questions for future episodes by reaching out on our platform. And stay tuned for an upcoming episode where I will dive deeper into toxoplasmosis, another piece of our fertility puzzle. Thank you for listening to Fertility and Wholeness. I'm Mariana, reminding you that knowledge is power, and every step forward brings you closer to answers.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, we got a special treat for you. Join our free Facebook group where you can connect with other amazing women and share your thoughts. Join us by clicking in the link in the show notes. We can't wait to welcome you into our supportive community. And don't forget to come back for our next episode, where we'll be sharing even more inspiring stories, encouraging tips, educational insights, and practical strategies. Oh, and before you go, we have a tiny favor to ask. If you found today's episode uplifting and helpful, please leave us a review. It's like giving us a virtual hug, and it helps other amazing women like you find our show. Plus, it makes us smile from ear to ear. And hey, why stop there? Share the love. Tell your Betsies, your mom, your sister, and even your favorite barista about our podcast. The more, the merrier.